Good afternoon, Mall Ninjas. Today we are taking a look at some cold steel. Founded in 1980 by Lynn Thompson, president and founder, Cold Steel has for 4 decades been providing tactical badassery for the discerning Mall Ninja, hell-bent on waging war against pig carcasses and watermelons and every other manner of target. What we have here are 3 cold steel knives sent in by a customer for sharpening today, and I greatly received permission from this gentleman to review these 3 knives, which is way out of my usual wheelhouse. I don't really do tactical type style of knives. And so here we are. I've got some cold steel to take a look at, and I think we'll start with the one on the left here, which is known as the Broken Skull, which apparently is a Steve Austin design, I guess. I mean, are we talking WWF Steve Austin here? I'm not really sure. I didn't research these things. I'm just winging it. As you can see, it's got a rather polished edge on it, and the blade steel is CTS XHP. This was manufactured in Taiwan, as the badge indicates here. And I gotta say, this is a pretty fine utility knife. It is a robust blade stock up top, but drops down to an insanely thin edge behind the edge there. And I sharpen this at 16 degrees per side, and it cuts like a laser beam. This is absolutely hair-popping, ridiculous sharp, and I think this thing would make for a great fruit knife, or a food utility type knife, for cutting up your steaks at your campsite or whatever. And it is insanely thin, just an ultra thin profile, kind of disappear into your pocket type of profile. And I do believe the gentleman that sent these knives in does not like pocket clips on his cold steel knives, as 2 of these have no pocket clip on them. So I guess he just carries them in pocket, or perhaps in a backpack. I'm not sure. I didn't ask him. We do have a clip point style blade with a thumb stud opening on washers, and not a bad little utility knife, I gotta say. I kind of rather like this one as a working little tool. And next up we have the Code 4, which is a more recent design from Cold Steel within the past 5-ish or so years, I do believe. And again, ultra thin profile with aluminum scales. It does have a pocket clip on this one, and of course their infamous triad lock on all 3 of these knives. They all have the triad lock, which is said to be the strongest lock in the folding knife world, and that is a lockback style lock. And we have a hollow ground satin finished blade of S35VN, and this is also manufactured in Taiwan. This knife to me has pretty nice ergos for such a thin knife, and that hollow grind makes it pretty darn slicey. Is it something I would own and carry? Probably not. It's super lightweight, however, and it is robust. Thick blade stock, thick out here by the tip. This is a pretty robust tip on this, and just a kind of a plain Jane drop point style blade with the hollow grind. And this one was sharpened at 19 degrees per side, I do believe. And nasty sharp edge on this one as well. And what else can I say about the Code 4? Well, I have a problem with this knife, and that is the fact that I cannot open it in a single motion. You know, it's just a design flaw with a knife so large to put a thumb stud there. This is as far as I can rotate this blade in a single stroke, and then I have to readjust my hand up closer to the thumb stud, and then, only then, can I proceed to finish opening the blade with a slow roll like that. Now, this knife and the Recon 1 are both designed in the same way, where I just cannot open them like a slow rolling thumb stud in one motion. It's just not possible. For my little dainty large male hands, I cannot do it. I guess somebody with Andre the Giant hands could maybe open this knife in one motion, but otherwise it's a two-handed knife. It's going to require one hand to hold the knife and the other to open it, and one hand to unlock the knife and one hand to close the knife. So a two-handed operation knife in today's modern folding knife world, it seems like a major fail to me, but that's the Cold Steel mantra. They like these big, stupid, long 4-inch blade, tactical, wannabe Mall Ninja type things. And so, you know, it is what it is. It's cold steel. Now, you can give it a wrist flick and thwack that thing open, which, you know, of course, is very tactical badassery. But, yeah, I don't really prefer to do that myself. I'd rather slow roll a knife like this, like a traditional thumb stud lockback, and it's just a little bit awkward. Now, on to the Recon 1. This is probably one of Cold Steel's most infamous designs, with G10 handle scales and a blade steel of S35VN, also manufactured in Taiwan. And again, I can't even, it takes so much wrist to flick this open. I can't do it behind the camera here. I can do it if I don't have a camera in my way, but if I try to slow roll this, that's it. That's as far as I get before I have to readjust my grip up higher on the knife and then proceed to open the knife. Seems foolish to me, but what do I know? I'm just a knife nerd. We do, however, have a beautiful hollow ground blade here with an American Tanto, and this mirror popping edge here just looks so fine on this knife. You'll have to excuse my lighting here. I did not prepare very well today. But if we get a closer look at this blade, it has a pretty interesting finish, which I'm told is a DLC finish. However, unlike most DLC that I've ever seen, this is polished. It's a polished DLC, and I think it looks kind of cool. It looks definitely like some 90s body jewelry or something like that. Yeah. Robust blade steel, of course. It's Cold Steel. And the Triad lock, which I really still can't undo with one hand. So it takes two hands to get that lock disengaged and close the blade. Stops there. Just hand. Then I can open it. One thing I will say that is positive about this knife, the ergonomics are absolutely phenomenal. This feels really, really good in hand. It locks in beautifully with these traditional, finger grooves here. And, a nice little thumb ramp with some light jimping carved into the G10 there, which is comfortable and it's not shredding my thumb. And so good ergonomics here. Just a bad folding knife design, but good ergonomics. The other thing I found very strange is how they chose to terminate the edge back here like 1/8 of an inch before the sharpening choil. I don't understand why you would put a sharpening choil there and then terminate the edge before the sharpening choil, but you know, it is what it is. It's cold steel, which is the opposite of warm steel. So, yeah. Tactical badassery, Mall Ninja-esque stuff at its finest. We have here. There is a market for this. I don't know how, but there is still a market for this. I guess gun show dealers everywhere are selling these things like hotcakes to this day. And Cold Steel has recently been sold to GSM Outdoors, which I'm not sure who they are or what they are, but we'll assume some corporation that sells outdoor goods. So we are no longer in the very capable pig slicing hands of Mr. Len Thompson himself, who I'm sure has retired nicely after 40 years of tactical badassery under his belt. I'm sure that he is going to live out a comfortable rest of his life. He built a very successful company over 4 decades and managed to sell it, which is the American dream, and you just got to respect that. And so, you know, no matter people's opinions of Mr. Thompson or, you know, his very interesting style of promoting his brand, Mr. Thompson is a retired gentleman now who sold his company presumably for a very nice profit. And so you gotta love that. Other than that, gentlemen, I think I'm gonna get out of here, and this has been a Mall Ninja production, and we will see you in the next review. Later.